Hi, we're going to talk today about how to self-publish an ebook. It's going to be a long video because there's a lot to get through, and we're just going to go step by step through every element of the process. There's going to be a lot of slides. If you want to collect the slides afterwards, you can. They're free via a link below. But for now, let's just jump straight into the action. I'm Harry Bingham from Jericho Writers, and I'm here to tell you how to publish your ebook. Okay, let's talk self-publishing. Why it's great. Okay, it's free to create your ebook. It's easy to create your ebook, and it's pretty free. It's certainly free and pretty easy to create print books too. You get 70% royalties for every single ebook sold. Okay, 70%. So you sell $10 worth on Amazon, $7 of that is going to end up in your pocket. And Amazon alone gives you this access to this huge worldwide audience. It's an incredible, liberating tool for writers. It's never existed before, and it's amazing. But saying that self-pub is, easy and incredible, which I really believe, doesn't mean that it's easy. It's hard to make sales, okay? It's easy creating your ebook, but getting sales from that, not so easy. Just think about this. There are well over 6 million ebooks for sale on Amazon, and the vast majority of those have sold fewer than 5 copies. In fact, it's even possible that a majority of those, or close to a majority of those, have never sold even a single copy. Okay, so that's not a place you want to be in. You really want to be in the top 1% or so of those 6 million ebooks. So that's why I say, the opportunities are huge, but the challenges are real as well. And that's why we're going to have to talk through every element of the process so you get it absolutely right. Now here's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about your book, actually constructing the ebook and the print book as well if you want to. Your Amazon page, that's going to be your shop front on Amazon, on the world's largest bookstore. And then your marketing, which is how you're going to sell your books. Now I'm going to be upfront as well. This YouTube video is going to teach you an incredibly huge amount about how to do all of that stuff, but it's not going to make you an expert. And what I would say is do not self-publish your ebook until you've prepared properly. So watching this video on YouTube, that's brilliant, okay, but it's not going to make you an expert. There's more homework to do after that. It's going to be a really good overview. We're not going to accomplish more than that today. If you see other YouTube videos that say otherwise, they're just not telling you the truth. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Step 1, you're going to open up your KDP account. KDP, that's Amazon KDP, and KDP stands for Kindle Direct Platform. Okay, you're not just selling to people who have got Kindles, you're selling to anyone who's got a phone, who's got a tablet, who's got a computer, any kind of reading device. To open up your KDP account, you just go to kdp.amazon.com and you press the little button that says sign up. You're going to use the same login details as your Amazon account. It really couldn't be simpler. Okay. Step 2, this is a very important step. You're going to laugh, but write an insanely great book. Okay, don't miss this step out. Marketing costs are just a tax on lousy product design. However great you are as a marketer, if your books aren't great, readers might buy the first one, but they're not going to buy the second one, and you're always going to be pushing that stone uphill. Write an insanely great book. That is the single most important, most valuable thing that you can do as an ebook marketer. So it's the one step that I really, really want to emphasize. If you only remember one thing from this video, remember that step. Okay, step 3, get the front of the ebook right. And what we're talking about at the front of the ebook is the look inside part of that ebook. And that's critical. It's where you convert the reader. So, what do we mean by converting the reader? We mean that they've come to your Amazon page, they've read the book description, they sort of like the cover, they just want to know a bit more before they commit to purchasing the book. And the look inside bit is where you answer, and you've got to deliver some really great text. Your page 1 and stuff is going to be absolutely great. But also, little reminders up in the front of the book in the sort of pre-book material that kind of reminds the reader, this is a crime thriller, this is a cute romance, whatever it is, and this is the kind of emotions it's going to evoke in you, and you can do that with a little bit of description, some quotes from readers, that kind of thing. Leave lots of room for actual text, of course, that's what the reader really wants. But the front of the ebook is all about converting the reader, and that's what you've got to think about when you're designing your ebook. Then obviously the middle of the book is just the middle of the book, that's the astounding book you've just written. Step 4 is about getting the back of the ebook right. And what is the back of the ebook? So the reader has reached the end, they've reached the last page in the actual text of your book, but the end matter is incredibly important. This is where you retain the reader, okay? So the front of the book is all about conversion, the back of the book is all about retention. And what does it mean, okay? What does it mean to retain the reader? The answer is you need to seal the deal and build your relationship. That means get an email address, okay? If you, as an author, have the email addresses of the readers who have adored your stuff in the past, it's really easy to reach out to those readers and say, hey, you loved the last book, I've got a new book out, here it is, go and buy it. And those readers are going to be really delighted to receive emails from you because they think, I love this stuff, I love this writer. It's almost sort of flattering to get an email from an author like that. So getting those emails is absolutely crucial to the whole of your marketing platform going forward. Okay, step 5, you've created your ebook, you've got to upload it to Amazon, and what we've got now is we've got a Word document, a nicely formatted, properly presented Word document, but you know, people don't read Word documents on their e-readers, they read Mobi files or EPUB files, depending, different retailers have got different file formats. But you don't need to worry about that, you're not a technician. What you've got to do is you've got to convert your Word document to the right file format. And you can just give Amazon an ordinary, properly formatted Word document and it'll do the rest. Alternatives will be using Draft Digital, they've got some really good tools. Vellum, if you're an Apple user, people love that. Or you can actually pay a human to do it if you really want to. You know, we're talking about $60 or $100 maybe to do that. The one thing that I would say there is don't just give your document to Amazon and assume that it's okay. Amazon will take your Word document, it'll convert it into the right file format, and then it'll say, come and preview it, check it out here, check that we've got it right. And you do need to go through that preview page by page to make sure that your book looks right. If it doesn't, you've got to change the Word document, re-upload it, and go on tinkering until you get it right. So allow yourself an hour or two for that process the first time you do it. After that, it should be very sweet and very simple. Step 6, get a fantastic cover for your genre, okay? And the cheapest and best way to get a cover for your book is search pre-made cover on Google or Bing or whatever. And what you get here is you get books by professional designers that are just being sold off for $50, $70, $100, something like that. And you think, well, why are professional designers selling off designs that cheaply? And the answer is that, you know, if somebody like me goes to my cover designer and says, I've got a new book out, can you come up with some ideas for this? I'll get 2 or 3 ideas back and we'll sift through, or I might get 5 or 6 ideas back and we'll sift through those and I'll identify the one that I want. But that leaves the designer with all of those other professionally produced designs that I haven't had a use for. And obviously he's going to take my name and title off the book. But you can then go to these sites and they just say, you know, beautifully presented cover, beautiful typography, but it says your name, your title instead of, you know, whoever it was originally. And you can get some really, really great quality work for very little money. Almost always that is going to deliver a better solution than you messing around on Canva or you messing around on Photoshop. And you've got to get the cover right for your genre. Okay, so you know it doesn't really matter that the cover encapsulates everything that is inside the book, because readers don't know what's inside the book at this stage. At this stage, you've just got to say, look, you like, I don't know, military space opera, or you like Viking romance, and I'm going to put on my cover an image that says, yep, this book is going to please readers of military science fiction, or this book is going to please readers of Viking romance, or whatever it is. So get the cover right for your genre. That's more important than getting it right for your specific book. And boom! Okay, I said we were going to talk about your book, and we've just built it. We've dealt with the cover, we've dealt with the file conversion, we've dealt with, you know, what should go at the front and back end of your book. So we've sorted out how to create your book. And again, the essence of that is you just take a Word document along to Amazon and it'll convert it for you. Now let's talk about your Amazon page. This is your storefront and this really matters. Okay, now building your Amazon page is just a question of filling out some boxes in KDP. And I've given you a screen grab here to show you exactly what those boxes look like. They're just white boxes that look like any computer form online anywhere. It's really easy to do. So actually filling out the form, assuming you've got all the material ready, it's going to take you a few minutes. But you've got to be really sure that you know what you're doing. So don't go in and fill out those boxes until you've pre-prepared your material first, because otherwise you'll be tempted into kind of going before you're ready. So step 7, pretty obviously, you need to pick a title, a subtitle, and if relevant, a series title. And feel free to mess around and play a little bit. I've given you a couple of examples on this screen grab here. So, Wicked Whiskey Love, Sexy Standalone Romance. The title there is Wicked Whiskey Love. And the bit after the colon, Sexy Standalone Romance, that's a subtitle, effectively, that tells you what kind of book it is. And you could have Sexy Standalone Romance, or you could have a gripping thriller, or the book that hundreds of readers have loved, or, you know, anything that you want to advertise your book with. If you look at the second one, Close to the Bone by Kendra Elliott, you'll see the title there is Close to the Bone, and then it says brackets, Widow's Island Novella Book 1. And what those brackets mean is that's the title of the series, and book 1 is put in by Amazon, not by you, and that identifies which position in the series it is. So, I certainly recommend you have to put in the title, and I would recommend that you have either a subtitle or a series title, or possibly even both. Step 8. Write a great book description. Now, book description is the little bit of text you see. So you've got the on an Amazon page, you've got the little cover image of the book, and then just to the right of that, you've got a little bit of text about the book itself. And it's really important you get a great book description here, because this is a massively important tool to convert the reader. So somebody's browsing on Amazon, they come through to your book page because you've got a great cover, you've got a nice title, and then you've got, let's say, 100 or 150 words to really convince them that, yeah, it's worth spending that $1 or $2 or $3 on your amazing book. And the secret here is to create a little story with a little hook in it. So although you've only got 100, 150 words to play with, you've got more text than that in terms of Amazon, but in terms of engaging a reader, keep it really short, keep it really compact. You've got to tell a tiny little story that engages the reader, and then with a kind of like, and then the situation darkened, or then was she going to escape with her life? And so, you end with some kind of question and makes the reader pay out that little money for the book. I've said here on this slide, use HTML formatting. If you don't know what HTML is, don't worry too much, but it's what gives the little bold there at the start of the book description. And using a little bit of bold or italics or whatever, it's a nice way of enlivening up your book description. And there are tools for doing that, so you don't have to get all techie yourself. You can just go to a Amazon book description generator online, and you can type in your text and say, I want this bit to be bold, and it'll give you the code you need to give to Amazon. Step 9, choose your categories. Okay, and again, this is a sort of term that sort of feels confusing if you haven't dealt with Amazon before. But effectively, Amazon is this huge bookstore, so it's got to have bookshelves, and it's got to file non-fiction diet books here, and it's got to file crime fiction books here, and then within crime fiction, here are the sort of British set ones, here are the kind of American ones, here are the police procedurals, and so on. So really, categories, it's just like what you should be asking yourself is, what bestseller lists would my type of readers have the most interest in? And Amazon will give you a whole big list. I've given you that on the screen grab. And you just flip through that list and find the categories that best suit your book. Again, the thing to think about is, what bestseller list would I most like my books to feature on? What bestseller list would my readers most likely congregate around? If you answer that question, you can choose up to 2 categories, choose them sensibly, and that choice will pay dividends right down the line in terms of getting the right sort of readers finding your sort of book. Step 10, choose some intelligent keywords. Again, if you're new to Amazon, you won't know what this means, but effectively think of keywords as little signposts to your book. Really good tip here is check out your own individual category on Amazon and then use keywords for relevant subcategories. So for example, if I go to crime fiction, I'll see that Amazon is saying, within that category, there are subcategories like, do you want dark and disturbing? Do you want noir? Do you want female protagonist? Do you want British set? And I'll, use those terms as my keywords, because then that's effectively saying to Amazon, yep, I have British protagonists, I have a female protagonist, and my book will suit those sort of readers. And Amazon then knows who to serve your book up to when they're doing searches. So it's really basically just a tool for connecting your book with the kind of readers who are looking for books like yours. And having a look on Amazon's own sort of subcategory tools is a great way of finding those keywords. Now, step 11T5, okay? Why is it 11T5? It's because my little 5-year-old, that is right now her absolute favourite trick. It's not 11, it's 11T5. Do you want to choose your book on pre-order? So that's one of the questions you're going to have to fill out on that Amazon form. And basically, no, it's a bad idea. Do not put your book on pre-order. Just trust me on this. I wouldn't say that's universally true, but basically, if you're an experienced author with a strong marketing platform already, you can think about putting your book on pre-order, and you'll know what you're doing, and that's fine. But if you're new enough to be watching this video, then almost certainly, like 99.99% of you, should not be putting your book on pre-order, even if you hear advice to the contrary. So just trust me on that. I could explain it, but I'm not gonna. Step 12, choose rights and DRM. DRM stands for Digital Rights Management. And basically on rights, you want to pick worldwide rights. Unless your life is complicated. So with me, I've got some traditional publishing connections in the UK and in Germany and places, and I've got to respect the contracts that I've written, so I've got to sort of split my rights up a little bit. But for most of you watching this video, you've written a book, the rights are yours, you just want to sell the book worldwide, and that's absolutely great. And on digital rights management, again, getting into the intricacies of this is complicated, but just say no, you do not want DRM pertaining to your book. Step 13, choose pricing. Okay, and it seems pretty obvious this. Amazon pays 70% royalties on ebooks, as long as those ebooks are priced between $2.99 and $9.99. And that's because Amazon doesn't want anything to be too cheap, so they don't make any money, or too expensive, because then they think people aren't going to buy ebooks, and they're going away and buy something else instead. So Amazon wants to be a competitive bookstore that nevertheless makes money, so it wants ebooks to be priced between $3 and $10, basically. Most indie publishers like you, self-publishers, price in the $2.99 to $4.99 range, and that delivers royalties of $2.09 to nearly $3.50. So that seems like really clear, really simple. It's like, that's where the 70% royalties. Obviously I want 70% royalties. I don't want to price at the premium end of that because I'm still establishing my career, but anywhere between basically $3 and $5 makes sense. Except it's a little bit more complicated than that. There are a ton of exceptions. Most indies make their first book in this series either free or very, very cheap, like 99 cents. And that sounds dumb, like you can't make money from free and you're not going to make very much money at 35% royalties of a 99-cent book. Except that you want to tempt readers into the series, so make it easy for them to say yes. And the thinking here is really, you go to a big grocery store and there'll be somebody maybe standing at the front with a little tray of cheese on sticks, and you taste the cheese and you think, that's very nice cheese, and you go and buy a lump of cheese. And they're giving away a little bit of cheese for free because they want you to buy the big lump of cheese behind. It's the same with books. You're probably not going to make money from that first book. Essentially, if you're new to the game, it is unlikely that first book of yours is going to make money. But you don't care, because what you're doing is you're using that book as a tool of capturing readers and bringing them into your world and getting them to buy into the whole series. And you're going to price your books 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on at full price, $3, $4, $5, $6 even. That's where you're going to make the money. You're going to make the money with a read-through, but you don't want to deter people from entering your series in the first place. When I was still traditionally published in the US, Penguin Random House was publishing my book at $11.99. Book one in the series at $11.99. Now, who wants to buy an ebook at $11.99? It was like a do not buy this book sort of signal. You don't want to do that. You want to make the series super accessible and then just trust that as your momentum builds, you'll get all of that lovely money from read-throughs. Okay, step 14, you need to choose whether to go Amazon exclusive, KDP select. So again, this is one of the choices on your KDP form. And if you're new to indie publishing, this question is a no-brainer. Yes, you do want to make your books exclusive to Amazon. Yes, you do want to enroll your books in KDP Select. Your Kindle Unlimited income may actually be greater than actual sales income. Let me just explain this a little bit more. So if you're a member of KDP Select, then sort of Prime members on Amazon, for example, can download Kindle Unlimited books for free. And then if they read them, you will get paid effectively a per page read royalty. And the per page amount is very small. I can't remember what it is. It's 2.5. I can't remember what it is. It's small. But if somebody reads your whole book, you're getting proper money in your pocket. And because it's so easy for all of those masses of people who are enrolled in Kindle Unlimited, it's free for them to get your book. And you get paid just as they read it. So it's an amazing way of making money, and you get paid per page read, and the income from that can easily equal your income from actual sales. In my case, I make about a third of my money from Kindle Unlimited income, and all that Kindle Unlimited income, remember, comes from people who are downloading my book for free. But there are plenty of indie authors where that, instead of being like only a third of total income, it's 50% or even more. So it's this amazing tool for making money. You think, well, I'm not on Apple and I'm not on Kobo and these other things. But truthfully, especially for newer authors, it's so easy and so rewarding going with KDP Select that that's where you should start. As you start to build up your income and start to build up your confidence, you can start to revisit that question, but you certainly shouldn't do that up front. And now look, our Amazon page, we've just built it, okay? So we've built our book, we've built our Amazon page, and the only question that lies ahead is the slightly important question of marketing. That's what we head to now. Okay, and marketing is absolutely essential, but before we talk about specifics, I'm going to make a little confession. Creating your book and your Amazon page is easy. It's just like falling off a log. It's really just a sequence of mechanical steps that you can do with ease. But marketing, it's not hard exactly, but for one thing, it's absolutely crucial, and B, there are lots of little bits to get right. And you have to get those bits right, or you can basically sabotage everything else you've done. Maybe it's taken you a year to write that novel, you're really proud of it, you really want it to succeed. Marketing is all about getting the detail absolutely right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a deal with you. What I can cover in the rest of this video is the broad outline of your marketing strategy, but what I can't cover is the nuts and the bolts of every single little detail. That would just be far too big for this video. But what I'll tell you is exactly where you can get all the extra information you need. Okay, so I'm going to give you an overview now, and then we'll deal with where you can get the sort of fill in the details later on. And here's the strategy. A reader is going to read your ebook. Okay, they love it, they want more, and they want it now. So at the end of the ebook, you're going to offer that reader a free short story, and all they can just go and collect their free short story. They're happy because they've got another free gift from you, so they are a happy reader. That's wonderful, you've pleased the reader. But in order to get your story to the reader, a transaction has to take place, okay? So we have to swap, we have to get, the image here is from the Bridge of Spies, so this is Tom Hanks in the Bridge of Spies, and this is a prisoner exchange, okay? The American is leaving East Germany, and a Russian spy is being delivered back to the Russians, and that's essentially the kind of exchange we're talking about, except it doesn't involve spies. You're delivering a story to the reader, they are delivering an email to you. You're both happy with that exchange. They get a free story, but they're also happy giving you their email address because they want to hear from you. They love your work, they would love you to stay in touch with them. So you're going to email your story to the reader. To get your free story offering the ebook links through to your website. Your website says, tell me where to send your story. Automated software sends out the story download link, and you can do all this when you sleep. Okay, so the essence of this is the sort of story for email transaction. You've just got to make it a really smooth, really painless process via your website, most likely. And making that happen in a reliable and automated way means that people can read your story anywhere in the world at any time of day. They can ask for the story, and it will land in their ebook in their inbox right away after that. And then when you bring your next book out, you can tell your most committed fans. And your fans, of course, they're your fans, so they're likely to buy your book. But that's not even the good bit. The good bit happens in what happens after that. So let's say you've got an email list now of maybe 1,000 readers, and you send out your email saying, hey, my next book is out. Not all of those 1,000 people are going to get it. Maybe they don't all open your email. Maybe some of them are busy. Maybe some of them have got a big stack of reading matter and they think, yeah, I'll buy that, but not right now. But what happens is that, let's say 30% of those guys go and buy your book when you tell them to buy it. Here's where the magic bit happens. Amazon's little marketing robots, their little algorithms, are going to see that sales spike. And they'll go, oh, this book is selling. So if this book is selling, we're going to start marketing it for you. We're going to start bringing this book to the attention of readers like the ones you've already got. And so your book is going to feature on bestseller lists, it might feature on hot new releases, it's going to maybe start featuring on also boughts, although it looks like Amazon is phasing those out. Recommend for you that, or emails to readers. Amazon's got all these hundreds of different avenues for getting books in front of readers who might like those books, and as soon as you start causing a sales spike via your email marketing, Amazon's robots will come into action and they'll start doing the marketing for you. Now, no doubt you'd like to see an example of that in action, so I'm going to tell you a little story about my own career in self-publishing and the moment that was really that changed my life actually in terms of self-publishing. So a few years back, I had my second set of twins. I've got 2 sets of twins. For a while I had 4 kids under the age of 2, bang. My wife is disabled. So it was a pretty busy summer, that one. And I had a book out, I had to release this book, and I make my income from writing books. So it was necessary that that book sold. But I was just a teeny tiny bit busy, so I developed what I am pleased to announce, my Genius Marketing Plan. I'm going to reveal in detail my Genius Marketing Plan to you, and you can have it for free. I don't completely recommend that you use it, but here it is, my Genius Marketing Plan in full. Tweets, 0. Facebook posts, 0. YouTube videos, 0. Blog posts, 0. Blog tour, book signings, publicity, all of that stuff, none. Email sent, 1. Okay, I was so busy that summer, I had time to send 1 email to my mailing list. It basically said, hey guys, I've got a book out, here it is, go and get it. I mean, I put it a little bit more nicely than that, but that was the gist of that email. Okay, now, I would not advertise that as a great marketing plan. It was a genius marketing plan for me in my situation, but unless your personal situation is a bit similar, I would suggest you do something a little bit more detailed and elegant than that. But here's the thing, that 1 email to my readers earned me $30,000. Okay, my readers on my email list bought the book, and then Amazon went, hey, that book is selling, and it started putting in front of totally new readers. Those readers bought the book. Amazon went, hey, this book is still selling, I'm going to get it in front of more readers, and more readers poured into the book. And of course, if they liked that book, they started buying the other ones in the series. And quite frankly, that moment changed my life, because I realised this was when I could make a real living on Amazon. And I bought my 2 original books in the series back from Penguin Random House and started to think I'm going to go all in on self-publishing in North America, because it's just such an amazing way of making money. And you can do the same, and you can do the same using the exact same basic technique, which is offering a free story to your readers, getting their email address, and using those email addresses to build that relationship with the reader. Now, one extra ingredient to give your launch some rocket fuel, I'm not going to talk about it much here, but Amazon advertising. Amazon is increasingly becoming an ad platform. So you see lots of kind of sponsored products type results on Amazon, and that's a way to use Amazon's own ad platform to get your book in front of your readers. I'm not going to talk about the details of that here, because that would take half an hour in its own right. But what I would say is that if you're launching a book for the first time, you should certainly throw some Amazon advertising into the mix. It's not very expensive, it's quite easy to make money with it, and it should certainly be part of your overall arsenal of techniques. So what next? I mean, look, we've basically talked about everything that I promised at the start. We've talked about your book, we've talked about your Amazon page, we've talked about the essential outline of the marketing. But already you can see, just even from this video, long as it is, that there's a lot more detail to get into. So let's talk about some of the next steps you need to take following this video. And yes, it seems like a lot of work, but this is your career you're talking about. You have to invest a little bit at the front to make everything work. And again, if you see videos on YouTube that say, hey, it's really easy, I just did this, and people threw money at my head, that's not the reality of the world, and you know it isn't. So what next? First, you should go and read our massive self-publishing guide. It's totally free. I'll tell you where to get it in just 1 second. It's online. You can just go and get it. You should also definitely get our detailed self-publishing advice videos. They go through some of these elements in much more detail and just tell you step by step exactly how, for example, to write the perfect book description on Amazon. It's such an important sale conversion tool. You have to get that right. When you see a bad book description, it's just, it's just killing sales on the book, and you don't have to do that. Again, those self-publishing videos are all absolutely free. We'll also give you all of the slides to this video, so if you want to sort of the structure of this video, if you want to just download that as a PDF, we'll make that available to you. And of course you can pay us stupid money for an incredibly great course, now just $4,999, discounted by $1 from the original £5,000 price. Now of course, you probably know me well enough by now already that we're not going to offer a course like that for a stupid price. I just don't think it's appropriate to offer those kind of things. In terms of getting the free guide to self-publishing, it's online. Just if you search, we're Jericho Writers. If you search Jericho Self-Publish Amazon, our page will be the top search result. It's a huge, 10,000 word blog post. It's a mini ebook in itself, and it just step by step runs you through everything you need to know. Do definitely go and get our detailed self-publishing advice videos. The link you need is right below this video. Okay, so just go to that link underneath this video. Go and get those advice videos. We'll also give you all of the slides to this video, so you can have everything in your pocket at once. And forget about paying us incredibly stupid money for a course. We do actually have an incredibly great self-publishing course. We basically make it free to Jericho Writers members. So we're kind of an online club for writers. We've got some, a great self-publishing course. We've got a how to write course. We've got courses on traditional marketing. We've got loads of masterclasses and just as much kind of information out there as possible for you. All of that is available 100% free to members of Jericho Writers. So if you're interested in that, you can look at joining up. But right now, I'd say, go and have a look at that self-pub guide, go and grab those free advice videos, and everything else we'll take from there down the road. Thanks very much for watching this. The fact you've sat here through a long video with a lot of material to get through, the fact that you've sat there and taken it all in, and you're still here right at the end, that is a brilliant sign about your commitment to this process. And like I say, self-publishing has changed my life as a writer. I really recommend it as a tool for aspiring writers. It's amazing, but you do need to get it right. So thanks very much indeed for watching. I'm Harry Bingham for Jericho Writers, and I wish you just all possible success in your self-publishing adventure. Good luck.